Okay, in the previous class, we were able to master or look at the interface and we're able to understand certain things about uh, basically how to import, how to do a couple of things, understand the interface, the pages, all of the schema, the table view, all these tabs and all that. So today we are going to import data and then do a bit of data cleaning. I do not have a specific data set for that, but we are going to use what we already have. Then look at this place. Let's also focus more on this one. Let's understand these visuals very well before we proceed. Let's know when to use, and when not to use. Because in Excel, if you remember, we mentioned I told you about the different charts, all those charts, how to use them, and which one to use, when to use, and all that. So before we even start talking about charts, let's look at these things first. Charts junk. Chart junks refers to all the visual elements in charts and graphs that are not necessary to comprehend the information being represented on the graph, or that distracts the viewer from the main information. So you remember during our dashboard class in Excel, I told you, I was able to walk you through on how to present your dashboard. I told you that you should focus because you are like a storyteller. You're telling a story. So you are the one dictating the tone of that story. Your audience is at your own mercy. Is however you want them to think that they will be thinking at that moment. Whatever you want them to feel is what they will feel. You've been in a church where the pastor is preaching. At a point, some people were crying, started crying based on what the pastor is saying. Sometimes you can be in a gathering and based on what the speaker is saying, you can get angry, you can get happy, people can laugh, So the person presenting the story has control over the audience. You control their emotion, their feeling at that point. If you present your if as a storyteller, you fail to control that, it means you are not delivering that story well. So every part of your story has the feeling it will come with, and your audience should be able to resonate with it. So in your dashboard creation, whether you are there to present the dashboard or not doesn't matter. An audience, or whether technical or non-technical, should be able to look at your story that you've told in your dashboard and understand the exact information you want them to see. If there are 100 oranges, but inside 100 oranges, 90 of those oranges are bad in the basket, then you make a dashboard and you want them to see the entire 100 oranges. It's up to you. If you don't want them to see the 90 that are spoiled, you only want them to see those 10 oranges, you present it to them, and when they see, they will never in their life know that there were actually 100 oranges. They will only see those 10 beautiful oranges. If you now want them to see, oh, there was 100 oranges in this basket, but we have 90 that's bad, we have 10 that's good. You want them to see that info. So you control, you are in total control. You're the one telling them what to see and how to feel about it in your story, all right? So, and to be able to achieve that, there are things that you must not uh, include in your dashboard. You want to focus their attention on the data that you want them to see and nothing else. You don't want them to come to your dashboard and start struggling, start struggling to find which information, why is this one, what am I supposed to do here? What am I supposed to see? You make it simple by making your charts, using the right charts, number one, by using I've listed some of them, some example of chart junk. So junks are things that are not needed. Remember during our Excel dashboard creation, I was able to remove a lot of things from the charts for us to have a very legible or very simple and straight to the point dashboard that day. We were able to remove grid lines. We were able to remove many chunks, a lot of things that were not needed. Grid lines, is it title, bar, all those things, horizontal axis, vertical axis. We were able to remove, in fact, we were able to add data label. We now remove a lot of things and made it so simple and straight. All right. So this is the same thing. Those things we removed are called junks. Junks are not needed because junks will distract your audience. It will distract them from the real thing. You understand? It will drag attention. There are so many things. You don't have to use a tick line. You don't, you have to bold in only what you want them to see. You don't have to, imagine if everything is bolded. They just come there, they start. I don't even, in fact, you have to maybe use a line to underline or bolding or use colors to point there are particular information or particular data that you really want them to pay attention to. Then you use, some things to, point it and all that. So these are some of the junks that you have to avoid. Heavy grid lines. You don't want heavy grid lines. Like your grid line will be so bold that it now takes their attention from the main charts or the main graph that is there. They'll be seen only bold and dark grid lines or even colorful grid lines. Always take them out. Remember how we took it out from that Excel dashboard, right? Unnecessary text. Remember how we only left the topic, that is the title, and we made that title very short. We said, was it frequency by so, sales by country, sales by category, something like that. Then we removed every other title that is not necessary. Then picture surrounding the visual. So you don't want any picture that is not necessary or that is not relating to the visual. Even if it's relating to the visual, remove pictures. There's no need for pictures in your dashboard. Then shading or third component. So 3D components, always avoid it. See, I think, let me show you. This is something like this. Make sure you avoid some using this one. You also see it in your chart options because this one now you can't really tell which one is the biggest. You can say, okay, is it this one, supplier A, supplier B, yellow. So is it this or this? Which one? It's confusing. But this is a 3D, this is a 3D image. If you use it, it may look your work beautiful, but nobody's interested in. Remember, you're dealing with figures, and in figures, most of the people that will be going through those figures are not even interested in how beautiful or the colors. They're interested in the data, these are critical. A business now wants to know if you are profitable or not, and you're not showing them colors and beautiful dashboard. That's not their problem. Their problem is maybe they are losing customers, they want to find solution, or maybe they want to know why, or their particular product is not doing well, or maybe a particular branch is doing so well, and they want to pinpoint what is really going on and all that. So at that point, nobody's interested in colors, in pictures, in all of those. They're interested in data, right? So this is going to distract uh, the viewer. I understand you want to make your dashboard beautiful. That's good, but it's not necessary. So this is not allowed. Don't use 3D. Now you can compare it with this one. This is now better because you can see clearly that this is bigger than this, then this is bigger than this, and this is bigger than this. Very simple and straight, all right? So you have to avoid ornamental chart text. So ornamented chart axis. So you don't want to put colors like, put flowers, yeah, this is good. How do you feel about science? So pre-camp, post-camp. So this is actually telling, like, okay, let's say in a school, the students don't like science. So a teacher now brought up an idea, said, okay, let's organize a camp for this all the students that do not like sciences. Then they now organize a camp, a training, something like a workshop, where they explain to them everything about sciences, how sciences is, what, the possibility, opportunities you can have if you study sciences, a lot of all things, how to study sciences, how to make it easy. Like they broke it down and it became so easy for these students, and they now understand sciences. And many of them that didn't like sciences because they were scared of sciences. They thought it's so hard, physics, chemistry, maths. They thought it was so difficult. But now that they understand better, they now love science. They want to do sciences. And even if it's hard, because they've seen the opportunity and possibility that the opportunities to present to them after school, they are now willing to do it. So this graph, this one now, this chart is showing you before that camp bored. So this is bored. 25% of the students were bored. Each time they are in a science class, they are so bored. And then 40% of the students do not like it. So many people, not great, they don't like it. Then just a little percent, 5% say, oh, it's okay. Then you can see that a very small percentage, I think this is it. Okay, 11% are bored, then 25% are interested in it, then 19% are excited about it. So majority, all these people now, majority of the students, over 70, okay, no, over 60%, 55% of the students from here do not like sciences before the camp, pre-camp. Then after they've been explained to, they now love, this is now the result after the meeting. You can now see that only 12% are now bored, excited. 38, a whooping 38% of the students are super excited to, start taking science classes. And more than 30% of these students are now interested in sciences. Only a few, just very little. So generally from this dashboard now, from this data, you can, anybody, even if you're not a technical person, you can see that this camp or this orientation or this meeting was a success. You can agree with me that it was a big success because it changed a whole lot of things. So many people that were not interested are now interested. In fact, they are now super excited. See the percentage of people that were excited before, just 19. It has gone up to 38%. So with this now, the teacher that organized this event can even go and start asking for funding with this result. They now have a tangible result to present to any stakeholder or any organization or any investor to show them that, okay, uh, this is a proof that this thing works. Do you get? And they can even start organizing more classes for other things, maybe career talks for students, maybe students that didn't like a particular career. They can convince them because this is exactly what data analytics is about. You can see practically here. And it is very simple. You can see clearly here that you are seeing only the information, the data that the person wants you to see. You can see the before and after. No unnecessary text. The only text you're seeing here is the title of this thing to help you understand what you're looking at. Then this one is the before and the after, and nothing else. Then this is the legend that tells you each of these things. There's no necessary write-up anywhere else. And you can also pay attention to the color. You can see the background is light. You can see the color of the shape is uniform. Do you see that? So it helps you to assimilate the information that they want you to, take home and all that. So this is a perfect visual. And this is how your visual should always be. All right. So like I told you, this is very wrong. Don't do this. Then Racetrack chart do not encode the, okay, this is also not acceptable. All right, don't use it. And then this is heavy, don't use heavy or dark grids, no. Unnecessary text, like I told you, don't put unnecessary text. Picture surrounding, don't put a picture here, there's no point. Shading, don't shade, don't use this one, and all that. So look at these two now, look at these two charts. I think we are even going too far. We shouldn't be here. Let me go back to Power BI. I was just trying to tell you the kind of chart to use. All right. So let's start with this one. This one is the bar chart. So the bar chart, you use the bar chart when you want to represent two unit of information, maybe time against sales, or maybe country against sales, profits against maybe region or anything, just anything against anything, so that each of these bar will represent that thing. Then the length of the bar will represent the number. All right. So this one is usually used when you just want to show a simple data, maybe sales over time. No, not really sales over time, like sales according to region or according to maybe the progress. You just want to show progress that you've recorded. This is mostly used, these bar charts and these column charts, they are the same thing. Column chart and bar charts, they are the same thing. All right. But I'll show you the few differences. But you use them when you just want to show a group. Maybe you're considering, you're talking about something, maybe different villages, you're checking data, maybe you're handling a health data in a community. So you want to show different ethnic groups and the level of each of them, maybe chronic diseases, maybe some people have HIV, some people have tuberculosis, some people have malaria. So each of these bar can represent each of the disease, and the number of people that have it will now be the length of the bar. So it can be any, you can use it, these two are used interchangeably, but this one is the most popular one that you always use. This one comes in handy only when maybe the place where the dashboard where you want to place it is maybe long. You now see that this is one that can enter there. Then you can use this one. That is one reason. Maybe or you've used like 3 or 4 of this one, you just want to spice it up and use something else, you can use this one. It will look a bit different instead of just using the same thing all over your map. Your dashboard will just look like so boring. So this one, you can use this one to spice it up. Then secondly, you can also use this one when the information, the name, this name will be name of, maybe this one is HIV, this one is tuberculosis, this one is malaria, this one is maybe syphilis. Now this HIV will enter. It will enter this space. So it will just be HIV. But this malaria may actually enter as well. Then there's no way tuberculosis will enter. It will be long. So it will not make the tuberculosis to become slanty like this. It will automatically slant itself. And you don't want someone to be bending their head before they can read your chart, right? So you just use this one. Once you use this one, everything will just align like this. No matter how long or short they are, they will fall in place. They will align properly. Okay. So yeah, just so it's up to you. It's when you start designing, you know what works for you. As much as you're trying to show data, you're also trying to, align your work to make them look presentable, to make them look clean and nice. All right. I didn't say beautiful, but if you can make your work beautiful, that's fine. It shows your level of professionalism and all that. But the key point is to make them clean, look clean and straight to the point. Okay. So other ones, like all these other ones are, let me remove this. All these other ones are now, like this one is just if you now have you're trying to show more observations, like you're considering Okay, let me explain better. This one, you want to show, let's say we want to show just tuberculosis, sorry, chronic disease and the number of people that have it. So HIV, number of people that have it. Malaria, number of people that have it. Tuberculosis, number of people that have it. Do you see? You're just having just one observation, just the diseases and the number. But in a situation where you want to consider the number of people that have this disease in a particular region. So let's say we are in where should I use now? Let's say we are in Lagos. Oh no, let's say we are in Abuja. Let's say we are in Abuja. Okay, no, let's say we are in UK. We are considering this in the whole of the country, UK. So we want to know the number of people that have chronic disease, each particular chronic disease in Manchester. We want to know the people that have it in London. We want people that have it in Lincoln. We want to know the people that have it in Birmingham. We want to know. So this one now cannot be used for that particular information. This one cannot carry because this can only carry a unit, just one. But now you're considering two, which is the disease and the region. So you're going to use something like this. You see this thing? You see? So this is going to be the disease and the region. So if you look at this one, the number of people that have tuberculosis in Manchester, this will be the region, this will be the disease, just like that. The same thing with this one. You see, two observation, all right? And so on. So when we start designing, you get to understand this thing better. So then we talked about line chart already. I think I explained this one better during the Excel class. So you only use line chart most of the times when you are dealing with information that happened over time, when there's a timestamp from January to December, to, or from day to day, maybe Monday to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or, so anyone that has timestamp, that is where this one comes into play. Then the same thing with this area charts. You can see if you don't want to add the space, the same thing, these two are the same thing, but this one just shows you only the line. But this area charts talks about maybe landmass, something that happened in a region, in a place over time, maybe something that happened in a community or in somewhere over time. Then you want to add this area charts. But as this said, really what the most important thing is just the timestamp, all right? This line here is a major thing. So if you want to make your chart beautiful, is when you're designing, you now see what works for you, then you use it. But most of these charts are interchangeable. It's not strict that you must use one particular one at any time. It's now left for you to know. Then this one is also similar to the line charts. It's stacked area charts. If you're not considering different things, just like we discussed here, then this one comes in handy. I think we're still talking about the same thing here. Then the same thing here. If you want to combine this and this, you want to combine the column chart and the line charts, and so you use this one. So maybe you want to consider the number of people that have tuberculosis over time, maybe in the period of 12 months. You want to show all of that information in just one chart. Then this one tells the story better. All right. There are other ways you can also tell the same story though, but just all that. So now the thing is that you're not going to use all of these charts. No, you may never even use some of them. All right. So like this one, this one, I don't know. I've never used it. Um, ribbon charts. And then look at this one, histogram. Okay, waterfall charts. Okay. So when we start to implement it now, we'll now put data into it. So we'll see what it gives us. Then this one is your funnel. This one is I think this one mostly is for hierarchy. For hierarchy of events. So hierarchical data, then scattered plots. Scatter chart is for the same thing. Like if you want to show region, maybe the people that have a particular disease the in a region, so you can just use this scatter plot to show it. So you can see that okay, in this region, maybe this is a whole country, this is the whole of Nigeria now. Then this thing represents different diseases in different states. So you can see this thing, when you put data here now, this is going to scatter, this is going to be many. So you can see, then you can represent each of these dots with colors. Maybe HIV will be red, tuberculosis will be blue, malaria will be green, something like that. So if you look at it, you can see, okay, how many red are here and which region is this? Maybe this is Oyo State in Nigeria. Then you now see how many people that have HIV. You now see how many red. Use that red to count how many people. Then maybe here is Lagos. You want to know how many people that have tuberculosis in Lagos. And Lagos is green. Sorry, tuberculosis is blue. So you now see how many blue dots or how many blue cycle. You can change this cycle now to any, it can be star, it can be anything. So when we begin to put data into it, once you put data into it, you now see different options to edit. You see more options, right? Okay, so then we also have the pie charts. I think we've used these pie charts a lot. You can now see uh, the pie chart is a very popular chart that you're going to always use. But now, when do we use it? Because this is the mostly abused chart in the history of data representation. A lot of people think that these bar charts can be used, they just use it anyhow. So many misuse of these charts. Some people just use it because it's fine. They just think it's fine. Or they just use it because they just want it to be in their charts. They just use it without knowing why and how to use it. Some other people think that, oh, this chart is just a percentage of the total, sorry, a percentage of the event that happened, you know? Well, it is true that this is used to represent percentage. So whenever you are representing percentage, you just hear anything percent in your data, just know that it is pie chart that you're going to use. So each of these slides that you're seeing here represent this percentage of that observation against the total observation, not percentage of this observation against this observation. Let me make it clearer. Maybe in a school, you want to know the total percentage of girls over boys. So this is going to be girls. The rest of them will be boys, right? So it is just going to be two slices. So you're not checking the percentage of girls against boys. No, you are checking the percentage of girls against the total students in that school. How many percent are girls? Then for this other slice, you're checking the total percentage of boys in that school against the total students, not against girls. I don't know if I'm making sense. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? I'm glad that we have two more persons joined. Let me see who they are.
Yeah, we do.
Um, Juliet was here before. Okay, Rahim. Yeah, that's good. You're welcome. Rahim and Godwin. It's nice to have you. Adura, are you raising your hand or okay, good. Great, I got you. So it is the percentage of that observational unit against the total unit. So whenever you hear percent, just know that you're going to use pie charts to represent that percent. But the number one rule here is that don't just use it randomly. Whenever you're using a pie chart, make sure that the observation you're considering is no more than 5. Let's say maximum 3, 4. 3 and 4 is best. Because when it becomes plenty, see the way it is now is fine. You can see even without data inside, it is just 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 observation. It's clean, it's fine. Even the one that I showed you before, let me see. Let's see how many observations we'll have there. We'll have just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see, even this 5 is already too much. See the plenty. Sometimes you can even start confusing you. Look at these two now. You can't know which one is which. Okay is for this darker one, right? This one is a bit lighter. But sometimes it's confusing. The more slices you have, the more inaccurate. Not like it will definitely be accurate though, but the more confusing, because two slides can become uh the almost same size. Like if you have 11 and 11.9 or 11.5, it will become so close when there are so many slices. Okay, so you use it when the slices are few, when the observations are few. Pie chart and donut chart, they are the same thing. There's no difference, just that this one is donut and this one is pie. All right, so you can use them interchangeably. It depends on your design. However, whatever works for you during designing, you use it. Okay, so they are the same. Then we have this tree map. I've never really used this one, but this tree map just gives you on when we put data here now, they will appear in different colors. So you can now know that this one is this observation, this one is this observation. The color is a category. Then it will have number as well inside. So it can be showing you the number of events happening in a certain category or something. We'll try it out anyway when we'll start. Then you have the map. You obviously already know what map is, right? For information. Then you have this field map, is same thing. Any one you want to use, you can use. Then you have the Azure map, all the whole map are the same. You have the gauge, the card. I have to talk about card. Card is one of the most important um visuals in your Power BI dashboard creation. All right. Card is very, very important. Card is used to show figures at a glance, because when you want to present now, you have to show the person even before any other thing at a glance. They want to see, okay, what are we trying to look at? We are trying to look at total sale. Okay, what was the total sale that was made? You know, so okay, the total sale was 100 million. What was the total loss? How many countries are we selling to? So you want to push out this information at a glance. Card will help you to do that. Before now you have a complete dashboard, but even before going through the different chart, different observations, you want to see what are we really trying to look at. The card will show you, okay, we made a total profit of 1 billion. So you now know that every other thing revolving around this dashboard is going to amount to this 1 billion. You want to say, okay, how many products did we sell? So you want to put the total number of products in a card. Maybe the total number, to just total card. All right. So when we start using it, you see. So card is very, very important. If you go to, let me see if we can go to Google. If you go to Google or Google, is it Google or Google? Google. What's that business? It should be this one. No, not this one. Yeah, I think this one works. Uh, let me use the other one. Let me try this one. Oh, why am I? Let me try this one. The thing is not working now. Oh, I wanted to just go there and check out the dashboard, but I don't know why it's not giving me what I want. Okay, let's try. Um, okay, so let's go to images. Okay, good. So you can see See all the dashboards, just take a look at them. See all of them. See this one, see this one. Let me open this one. See all these things. This is called card. See this thing. Can I open? Let me see if I can open it well and zoom. Oh no, I'm trying to zoom it. Uh, Let me see this one. Okay, I think you can zoom from here. All right, let me expand it so that I can see. Oh, I've messed it up. I don't know what I did. Let me go back. Let's manage. I don't know if you can see. I tried to expand it, but even the websites, it didn't go. It's not in the website, but let's just manage it here. So you can see this is the title of the website. So these are the different charts here now. This is a what? What's this chart? Bar chart, right? You can see they use bar chart, bar chart, bar chart. Then they use the what's this one? This is even a table. You can also use a table as well. I think this should be histogram or so. Then these are the cards. So even before starting, you can see total. Is it total sales? This should be total sales. Total sale is 52,925. So every other thing revolving here now, every other thing you're seeing here is going to amount to this 52,000. So I don't know. I'm not seeing this thing clearly. I tried to expand it to make it brighter, but we can't see these headings. But these are just glance. You can see. See this, they use donuts charts here. I don't like. Let me see if another one can be brighter. Look at this one. Anyone you open, they must always have this card. See the cards for this one. See the cards. You can see this one now. See the card. Why is I think it's my data. My data is not strong. That's why it's not opening this thing clean. If not, I can't see the write up. But this should be total sale. Maybe this one is total something something. I don't know. But just get the idea, Sha. Get the idea. Maybe when we start working, we will go deeper. So that's the work of card. So this is same card. Um, and then every other thing here, this is a table. You can also use table. Maybe the information you want to present, you want it to be in a table. You can also use table to present. So these are the most popular ones you'll be using often. As you can see from that this thing that I showed you, you can see the most popular ones. See bar chart, column chart, you can see pie charts, you can see all of them. You can see this is the bar chart, this is the column chart, the donuts, line charts. The same thing here, bar charts, see the same thing. These are the most popular ones you should always use. So you can see, even if you keep going down, the same thing, you hardly see this one map, this one added map. So it depends on the kind of data you're working on. There are different kind of data, right? We have the HR data, the sales data. The most popular kind of data is sales data because every business, has to do with sales, right? But sometimes you're working with HR data, maybe number of, employee, all those employee attrition ratio, all those ones. You have the health data. You can be working on the hospital data that deals with patients, medication, all those ones. It can be any kind of data at all. You can be presented with any kind of data. So it depends on the kind of data that you're working on that will not determine the kind of dashboard that you're going to come up with. Okay. But these are basically the visuals that you're going to be using. Okay. So let's see if we still have time. I think we've really we still have like 20 something minutes. So let's use that 20 something minutes to see if we can touch on data cleaning. So the first thing we'll do, of course, is to bring in data. We did that the other day. So I'll bring in this one. Let me bring in customer. You're supposed to bring all the data in. But before I bring all the data, I have to teach you something. Table relationship. I don't know. Table relationship, how different tables are related to each other. So I'm not going to transform. Okay, no, I have to transform to be able to clean the data, right? So I click on transform because I want to clean the data. So it's going to bring me towards, who can remind us this? Where is this place? Where are we now? Who can remind us? Are we
Power
still in
query.
Power Query? Exactly. So Power Query helps us to, clean our data. So I don't need to refresh. Now, the first thing while cleaning your data, wait, let me just load this data. Let me use a bigger one. Let me discard it in short. Let me not bring it in. I want to use, which one is the bigger one there? I think is this thing. It has shut down our Power BI. Cancel. Which of these data is bigger? Order. I think it's the order. It should be the order. So you remember everything I explained about the table and the file. The one to use. I always use the file. Okay, yeah, this one is larger. So now in data cleaning, there's something called ETL. ETL. E stands for what? Extract. Then T stands for transform. And L stands for load. ETL is what we are doing. So whenever you see the word ETL in anywhere, maybe on LinkedIn or in any job posting, don't get intimidated. It is something you know. It's very simple something, okay? So this is what senior data analysts do. They perform ETL. Extract means we've just extracted this data. You can extract your data from anywhere. It could be from a website, from anywhere, or just like this, but we'll have a data here. Then transform is that transform that we clicked to come here to Power Query. We want to transform this data now because it's dirty. You can get data that are dirtier than this one, so dirty, and then you don't know what to do, but this is exactly what to do. Then after transforming it, everything is now okay. What you do is to load. Load means loading it into Power BI, right? And that's ETL. You've performed ETL. So the first thing in cleaning your data is to ensure that the data types are correct. Data types are correct. All right. Remember that when you bring in this data, Power BI tries to suggest or guess the data types for you. All right. So the first thing it does, it shows you the apply steps. The first thing it does is to promote the header. Remember, it has done that already for you. I explained this in detail the other time, why it is promoting the header, because the first one is the heading. It has done that. Then change data type. Now, this is where it tries to check each of the column to know the kind of data that is inside each of this column and changes it for you. So this means that it has changed, it has guessed the type of data type in each column. So which means originally the data type that is here now is not what the data came in with. It came in with a different data set, but SQL went through each of them. Sorry, Power BI went through each of the column and say, no, 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 this data type, I think it should be this, based on some reasons. Because the first reason is that once it sees number, it is going to mark that data type as numbers. So it has gone through, and it's going to go this thing line by line. It's going to go through each of the column line by line. If while going through this column now, it sees A here, maybe A1 or just A, it automatically tags this column as text. So for it to say that this column is a number, it means everything in each of the column, everything must be numbers. It does this thing line by line, but it is robot, so it does it so fast. So let's say we have one A here, and this is not supposed to be numbers, it is maybe text. Then you just come here, look at this up here that says the numbers there. This is the name of the column. You just click here, it will bring you all the data type. Look at all the data types here. You simply change it. If you want it, if it is decimal, maybe one of them has decimal, or you want this to be decimal, you can change it to decimal here. So you just simply click here and then choose decimal. It will ask you that, this is like a warning. Then you replace it. It will change it to decimal. So if you notice here, this is now 1.2. This 1.2 means decimal. This is the symbol for decimal. If it is number, it will just be 1, 2, 3. That's the symbol for number. So if you click here, you can see 1.2 stands for decimal. Dollar stands for fixed decimal numbers. So if it is currency, it has currency, it will use these fixed decimal numbers. Then if it is just a whole number, it will use this one that says 1, 2, 3, whole number. If it is percentage, it will use this one. If it is dates, if the column contains dates like this one, it will use this symbol, dates. So it has date time. If it has date time, it will use this one. Maybe the date has the dates and then time on it. It will choose. So it's very smart. It will go through each of them. If it is date, it will put date. If it's only dates, if it is only time, it will put time. If it is this one, it will just like that. Then if it is text, you see ABC. If you see ABC there, then it's text. If you see true or false, but this one is rare, and this one is also rare. So the popular ones are this one, date, and then text. So after it has suggested or guessed all these things for you, you need to go over it manually to be sure that the data types are correct. Okay, so I'll click here. Now I've gone through my data to be sure that it is numbers. I've seen that, oh, this is number and not decimal. There's no decimal here. So I'll change it to whole number. You see, it's now whole number. You can see it has changed. Now, if I also want to rename, I can also rename this column. Maybe this column is customer ID. Maybe it is supposed to be customer number or something, or I want to change it. I don't want it to be like this. I want it to be together. I'll just double tap. Once you double tap, you can change. So if I want it to be customer slash ID, I just do it like this. Once I come out, it will effect the change. So I can rename any of the columns, but I cannot change anything inside the column. I can't just double tap like Excel and change this to any other number. I have to use another method called replace to replace it. All right, we'll get there. Then we are done with this one. This one, the data type is correct and the column name is correct. So we'll come to this one, other ID. The other ID, what is it? Is it numbers? We know that the other ID is not number, right? Because we cannot perform aggregation on it. We cannot add or subtract, right? So we know. What data type should it be? Let's see. Well, there's no better data type. So we can just as well leave it as number. After all, is useless. You can even delete it if you want. You can just come here and remove if you want, or you can just click it and hit on your remove button, or use this one to remove it, because you're not going to be needing it for anything anyways. So, but let me rename it. I'll just double tap and then put this one ID. Perfect. Then the product will go through what kind of data is in this product column. Is it text? Is it numbers? Is it column? So when I come and see, oh, they are all text. There's no number there. So check.